Feel free to grab a mat, and then some blocks are tucked in behind the corner over there. Yeah, and then we have weights over there on the side. You have the option to grab them. You don't necessarily need them. Guys, we have fun new toys today. Everyone online, I don't know if you checked the description yet, you have the option to grab some weights if you would like. I promise you don't need them. They're not a requirement. It's just if you want more of a little muscle burn today, and I was feeling energized, so I grabbed them. After I grabbed them, I got scared. So, completely up to you. If you'd like to use them, you totally can. If you don't have weights, go ahead and grab some water bottles or anything that just adds a little bit more resistance for you. Everybody here, I promise you only need a light weight. We're going to have a few burners in today. Other than that, still going with that simple stretch, not too much leg stuff. I know we've done a lot with legs recently, so I'm trying to cool it down a little bit. No new announcements. Just take modifications when you need it. If anything's too difficult, push back in child's pose, push back into forward fold, go at your own pace and do whatever's comfortable for you. So let's go ahead and get started. Knees wide on the mat, pushing back in that child's pose. Walking our hands forward. If you have a watch, don't forget to start it. Taking this time to bring awareness to all four corners of your body. You might try wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes, feeling your forearms pressed into the mat. Option to rock side to side if that feels comfortable to you. Just taking a little bit of time to have a full brain scan. Check in with your body, see how you're doing. Set your intentions for today's class based off of how sore you are, how much energy you have. If you'd like to increase the intensity, try walking your fingertips a little bit more forward. Lowering your chest a little bit further to the ground, slowly sinking into the floor. We're going to take another deep breath in. Exhale, go ahead and lift yourself up. Find that tabletop position. Option to grab those weights. We're just going to do a little arm circuit to start off. Keep them handy. We're not going to use it yet. We're just going to reach up in the air, fingertips high to the ceiling. Taking little side bends if that feels good to you. On your next inhale, you're going to reach behind you. Left fingertips really reaching to the back, opening your chest up. Inhale, looking for length. Exhale, twisting a little bit further, feeling this in our upper thoracic area, deep twist in our spine, a little bit in our shoulder. Feel free to pull your neck. If you're looking for more of a forearm stretch, go ahead and tilt those fingertips back. Should be feeling a little bit of stretch through the bicep. Another deep breath in. Go ahead and reach up to the ceiling. Length through those fingertips. We'll do the same thing for the other side now. Right hand reaches back. Twisting through the upper body. Length on that inhale. Deepening the twist on that exhale. Deep breaths. Exhale, we're coming back to center. Feel free to grab those weights if you have them. We're just going to start by waking up our shoulders, lifting our arms forward and to the side. Forward and to the side. And if at any point you feel like your weights are too heavy, everybody in person, feel free to go in the corner and grab yourself a new set of weights. Deep breaths. We're just waking up the shoulders here, activating the arms. And on our next lift forward, we're going to keep our arms extended, but we're going to tilt our palms to the ceiling and lift. Forearms coming closer to us. Feeling that tension a little bit in your bicep. Waking up the arms. Maybe a little bit in your shoulders. Another deep breath in. Holding at the top, we're fully lifting our arms up. Feel that muscle tension go a little bit further into your back. We're still engaging through the core here. Couple more, and we'll build on it. Make sure you're using your breath. One more. We're going to keep that extended. This next time, we're going out to the side, back to the front, and out to the side. Feeling any tension in your shoulders, going at your own pace here, but making sure you're still breathing. Only a couple more. Make sure you're feeling the muscles engaged. Don't put that pressure on your joints. You do not want to feel that tomorrow. Let's go ahead and do 2 more. We're going to fully extend out on this next one. Arms are out. We're lifting up. Go ahead and bring those arms to a 90. Closing that gate. Feel that muscle engagement move a little bit further into the chest. We're still in the shoulders, but now we're migrating from the back into the chest. Go ahead and do 2 more. Last one, we're going to close that gate and we're going to lift up off of our knees. Arms are going to reach forward and back. We're just alternating. One arm reaches forward, the other one activates through the tricep and kicks back. Feel free to take those little pulses. Breathing through, we're almost done. Last one, go ahead and send both of those arms back and pulse for me for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set those weights down. Bring those arms up above your head, little side bends. We're still lifted. If at any point your knees start to hurt, go ahead and, if you're at home, grab a pillow. Or if you're in class, we have those black knee pads in the closet over there. Another deep breath. Go ahead and bring those elbows into a bent position. Fingertips meet your temples. We're going to breathe through our core. Exhale, squeezing down below, tucking. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, squeeze that core. Inhale, lift up, find that length. When you lift, you should be squeezing your shoulder blades together. This is a flow motion, but our muscles are still engaged. And as you squeeze down, try to feel your core ripple, each one at a time. Feel your abdominals move and engage. Use that breath. I'm going to do a couple more. Find that breath. Last one, we're sinking all the way down below, but we're just going to walk our hands forward. Find that puppy pose, hips high in the air, shoulders sink down. If you want to increase that intensity, you can always grab those blocks, rest your hands on top of them, find more depth. Feel nice stretch. Another deep breath in. Catch your breath. Exhale. Let's go ahead and come back up into that tabletop position. Start by warming up our hips a little bit for today's class as well. Go ahead and take your left leg and just kick it back, slow and in control. You want to feel this in the top of your left glute, throughout your core and lower. Kick back, feel your core engage, feel your glute engage, and lower. Feel free to have your knee bent or extended. It doesn't really matter. You just want to feel that muscle engagement. Use that breath. We're going to try to get 2 more in, just so we recognize how that muscle's feeling before we transition. 1 more. Kick as high as you can. Really squeeze at the top. And lower. From here, just circle out your leg. Feel that hip mobility. Start checking in with yourself. Feel the sides of your glute activating a little bit more. Core still strong. Shoulders are still parallel to the floor beneath you. And let's switch directions. Circling to the other side. Try to get 2 more, increasing the circumference of that circle. Last one. Lower that leg down. Now that we've figured out how that feels, feel free to take little spine circles here. Still waking yourself up. I know we hit the ground running in class today. If you'd like, feel free to grab your weight for this next one. We're just going to transition into those bird dogs. No, we've done them before, but we'll still go over the etiquette. We're going to kick our left leg back, squeeze that glute. Leg can be straight or bent, up to you. Bringing that arm up, engaging through the shoulders. Core is still strong. That is the main component of this workout, is core. When you're ready, we're going to exhale, bring that elbow to our knee, squeeze the abdominals, and kick back out. Find that length. Squeezing the abdominals, knee to elbow. Then find that length. Knee to elbow. Find length. Use that breath. Make that breath work for you. We're inhaling when we find length. Exhaling when we squeeze. Give me 2 more. And last one. We're going to shimmy our leg to the side, still keeping that left palm on the ground. Going to do a couple chest openers. Lift that arm up. Feel that stretch through your inner thigh, upper body, and lower back down. We're going to lift. Try to get a little bit deeper in that stretch here. Lower back down. Still trying to feel that stretch. If the weight's taking over and your muscles are activating too much, feel free to drop that weight. Pay attention to what your muscles are telling you. Let's go for 2 more. One more, really lifting, finding that extension. Go ahead and lower back down. We're going to shimmy all the way around, rotating on that right leg, still keeping that left one kicked out. At this point, still feel free to have that weight if you like it. If it's become your mortal enemy, that's okay too. Go ahead and let it go. We're going to reach that arm over top of our head, and we're going to do a few crunches here, but we're feeling it through the side of our core. You're going to bring elbow to knee and kick out. Feel free to leave that leg in the air if you want to increase that intensity. Elbow to knee and kick out. Be sure you're feeling that oblique activate here. Couple more. Deep breaths. Inhale, length. Exhale, squeeze. 2 more. Last one, arm overhead, leave that leg in the air. Let's pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and drop that weight to the ground. We're gonna lift ourselves up into the air, give ourselves a little break, a little stretch. Right arm comes overhead. Find that length. Get centered with your breath. Deep breaths. Let's come back to center. We're still keeping that left leg planted out. Hands come to hip. We're gonna lean. Feeling a bit more stretch through our hips. Stretch through our inner thighs. Just remembering to breathe. Trying to stretch a little deeper each time. Couple more. Last one, we're gonna stay up. Feel free to grab the weights here if you'd like, but our fingertips are gonna come to temple. We're gonna start some controlled leans, again with that oblique activation. If you're wanting to increase that intensity, go ahead and give yourself a little twist at the highest point of tension at the bottom. Remember, the core is staying engaged this whole time. Breathe. Another deep breath in. Go ahead and rotate over. We're going to plant our hands back on the mat, kicking ourselves back up. We're going to come all the way into downward facing dog, pedaling out those feet, engaging through the core and in the back. Still pushing through those shoulders. Make sure you're doing those deep breaths. Our goal is to get our ribs to the tops of our thighs. Keep that pressure off your wrists. If your wrists are hurting here, remember there's always that option to go down onto your forearms. One more deep breath in. Let's go ahead and walk our feet to our hands. Find that forward fold. Little knee bends feel comfortable for you. Feel free to keep doing them. For this next movement, you might want to keep your weights handy if you're still using them, but if your muscles are burning, that's okay too. Our next deep breath, we're going to slowly roll up to standing, arms overhead, big reach. We're going to do that little forward fold sequence that we all know and love. So when you're ready, get those glutes engaged, get those quads engaged, slowly sinking down. Back is strong, core is strong. Little deep breath in, forward fold over those knees. Extending through the hamstrings, feel that stretch. Another deep breath in, we're sinking our hips back, glutes are engaged, flat back, half lift. Bringing those arms up, make that Y, pinch that pencil between your shoulder blades, and lower back down. Let's do it again, slowly rolling up, vertebra by vertebra, reaching up over top of our head, slowly sink down. Keep those glutes, those quads engaged, core is lifted, pelvic floor up and in. Forward fold over those knees, stretching out that hamstring, slow and in control. Hips shifting back, glutes are on, half lift, flat back, engaging through the shoulders, lifting our arms up, find that Y. And slowly lowering down. Using that breath, we're going to do it one more time, slowly rolling all the way up, reaching over top of our head, sinking down, glutes are engaged, folding over those knees, slowly feel that stretch in your hamstrings, sending those hips back, glutes are on, half lift, flat back, arms are reaching up, and we're falling over those knees again. Holding here, one deep breath. Before we get to the next section, go ahead and roll up. We're going to sink into that chair pose again, but we're going to hold here and alternate those heel lifts. Little pulses, back is strong. If the weights are getting too heavy and your back is starting to hurt, it's just as hard to do it without them. But if you're with me, we're going to add a little swimming motion now. Kick that arm back, feel those triceps. Deep breaths. Core still engaged. Couple more. Breathe. Last one. Forward fold over those knees. Drop those weights. Give yourself a breath. Stepping to the outside of our mat. Let's go ahead and sink down all the way. Find that yogi squat. If this is difficult, I want you to bring your hands in front of you, planting your knees on your elbows, and slowly try to sink back until your heels meet the ground, or place that block underneath of you. Option to rock side to side. Give those hips a little bit more love. Just taking those deep breaths. Let's go ahead and lower our hands down to the ground. We're going to step our feet back, find that high plank. Lowering our knees down to the mat. Elbows are tucked tight into our sides. We're bringing our bellies to the floor as well. Pushing through our fingertips, we're lifting ourselves up, half lift. Feel free to look over each shoulder. Add a little bit more depth in this stretch. Just remembering to breathe. And slowly lowering down. We're going to enter a little bit more of a circuit here. It's going to build off of one another. Feel free to grab that weight if you like it. If not, that's okay. What we're going to do is our arms are going to come in front of us, and we're just going to lift our arms and legs off the ground and lower. Squeezing through our back and our glutes, lifting through our shoulders, and lower. Lift and lower. Just a couple more so we get that motion. Try to get 2 more. And if you can, we're going to start doing a little bit of a swimmer motion. We're going to move that hand behind our back, grab that weight with the other arm, and reach forward. Repeating the same thing for the other side. Lower and lift. I know this movement is hard. That's why we only have a couple. I'm so sorry, but you got it. Last one. And lower. Give that back a break. I'm going to activate that lymphatic system. Just shake out those hips. Both palms under that forehead. Let your head go a little bit heavy. Deep breaths. And when you're ready, placing both palms under your shoulders, pushing yourself back. Find that tabletop and sink all the way into that child's pose. We're just going to walk our hands all the way to the left. Feel that stretch. Holding here for a couple deep breaths. And walking our hands to the right. We're going to come back to center and do the same thing for the other side now, this time with the right leg. Find that tabletop position, shoulders stacked over the heels of our palms, hips stacked over our knees. And we're just kicking that right leg back. Find that motion, feel that muscle activation. Core is lifted, glutes are on. Feel free to keep that knee bent or straighten it. Or straight, then bend it. You'll get more hamstring activation out of that. As we enter the next side of this workout, I want to remind everybody, if you used a weight for one side, try to use the weight on the other side as well, just so we keep things even. And we're going to go straight into those hip circles. Feel that muscle activation migrate from the top of your glutes to the side. Couple more. And going in the other direction. Try to get 2 more. And if you add that weight on the first side, go ahead and grab it. Let's use it for the other side. Kick that leg back, going straight into the bird dogs, lifting that arm up in the air. We're activating through the core, the back, the glute. E-I-E-I-O. Elbow to knee, squeeze that core. Exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale, squeeze. Keep that muscle activation. We want quality here. Try to keep a little bit of a bend in that elbow. Make sure the pressure is off of your wrist. Try to get 2 more. Last one. Kick that leg out like a kickstand. Feel that stretch through the inner thigh. Still planting that right hand on the ground. And we're just lifting up, left hand in the air. Thread the needle. Left hand reach, find that length. And thread through. We're breathing. Only a couple more. Really find that stretch. Last one, lifting really high here. Feel that stretch. And lower back down. We're in a pivot on that left knee. Opening up to the wall to our right. Going straight into those little crunches that we did before. Arm overhead. Bringing knee to elbow. Activating those obliques. Feel free to lower that leg on the ground if you want a little bit more of a break. If you'd like to increase the intensity, try keeping that leg in the air. Only a couple more. Use that breath, find that length. And last one, we're keeping that leg lifted. Give me a pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Deep breath in. Whew. Go ahead and let that weight go. We're lifting up, reach overhead, length through the fingertips. Feel that stretch, catch your breath. If you really want to deepen the stretch, you can walk over that knee. That's completely optional. When you're ready, feel free to come back up to center. Option to grab those weights here too, but we're just bringing fingertips to temple, slowly lowering down, engaging those obliques, lifting ourselves back up. If you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, the highest point of tension at the bottom, feel free to add that twist. We're still breathing, quality over quantity. Give me one more. Next time you lower, we're bringing both hands to the ground, finding that tabletop position. Just gonna curl our toes underneath of us and kick our hips back in the air, find that downward dog. Staying strong through our back and our arms, working on getting our ribs to the tops of our thighs. Deep breath in. We're going to take that left leg and kick it up into the air, three-legged dog. Feel free to take that bend with your knee, tilt those hips. Just make sure your shoulders are still parallel to the floor beneath you. Deep breath in. We'll find our next flow. Bring that knee to the middle of your chest and kick back. We're just going to keep going knee to the middle of the chest and kick back. Engage that core. Push through the back and your shoulders. Only two more. Last one. Kick back. Stepping that foot to the outside of your left hand, slowly lowering down that right knee, low lunge. Adjust your hips a little bit here. Find that break. Feel free to straight and bend that knee. If you need some more support here, go ahead and grab those blocks for that extra height. Pointing those toes up to the ceiling if you want more of a calf stretch, but if you want to stretch those hamstrings, keep those toes on the ground. Lifting all the way up. Let's bring our fingertips to the temples again. Option to grab those weights if you'd like. Bring that elbow to the knee. Twist back up and reach back. Fingertips to temple, elbow to knee, find center, and twist back. Keeping our knee stacked over our ankle. Let's try to get one more. We're going to windmill our hands back down to the mat. Curl our right toes underneath of us. Step up. Left foot goes back, pushing ourselves all the way into that downward dog. Just to keep it even, we're going to do the same thing for the other side now. Kick that right leg up in the air, three-legged dog. Option to bend that knee, tilt those hips, shoulders stay parallel to the floor. Holding here for a couple deep breaths. And let's bring that knee to our chest. Squeeze the core and kick back. Knee to chest. Kick back. Couple more. Last one. Stepping to the outside of our right hand. Bring that left knee down to the ground. Let your hips adjust, low lunge. If you want to keep that straighten and bend flow, feel free to do that. Just remember to breathe. toes to ceiling if you want that calf stretch. When you're ready, let's find center, reaching all the way up. We're going to bring fingertips to temples, rotate opposite knee, opposite elbow, come back up, reach back. Opposite knee, opposite elbow, back to center, left hand reaches back. Trying to keep that knee stacked over our ankle. Only a couple more. Last one. This time we're going to windmill our hands back down to the mat, but we're going to sink onto that glute, protecting that lower back. Feel free to grab those weights if you want for our core circuit here. All we're going to do is kick our legs out in front of us and hold. Chest is lifted, core is strong, arms are out in front of us. If you want to add a bit more difficulty to this, we're going to kick our feet up and just flutter those arms. Use that breath. This one's definitely a big core burner today. Feel free to drop those weights if this ever gets difficult. 10 more seconds. You got it. Deep breaths. Bringing both of our hands out in front of us to find stillness. We're going to make those little T-twists, coming back to center and twist. Feel the muscle activation move to your obliques, but you're still staying lifted through your entire core. Couple more. Deep breath. Last one. Holding back in center, alternating those toe taps down to the ground. Try not to lift with your hip flexors. Alternating taps. Try to transition into a double tap. Almost done. Deep breaths. 10 more seconds. Extend those legs out. Drop those weights. Fall forward. Stretching out those legs. Hold here for another deep breath. Then we'll slowly lower down onto our back. Arms reach overhead. Inhale as you get to the top of that reach. Exhale, we're going to roll all the way up. Use that core. And inhale, reach for those feet. Same thing, slowly lowering down to our back. Arms reach overhead. Option to use those weights. And we're lifting all the way up. Folding over those feet. Last one. We're in a reach, lift, and fold over those feet. Deep breaths. Let's go ahead and lower down back onto our back. Pick our feet up right behind our glutes. Take that right leg, hook it over top of your left knee. Option to stay here or grab on to the back of your left leg or onto that left shin. Gently pulling that leg closer to you. Feel free to rock side to side. On your next exhale, try to send those arms to either side of your body. Let your hips fall to the left, bottom of your foot planted on the floor. Keep those shoulders on the mat as well. Let this be a stretch for deepening the twist in your spine. Another deep breath, and we're going to roll back to center, unhooking that right leg and hooking our left over our right. Feel free to stay here or grab onto that right leg, whatever feels comfortable for you. Just remembering to breathe into our stretches. Let your body know it's okay to relax. Just take another deep breath, send our hands to either side of our body. Gently let that hip fall to the ground, foot planted on the floor, shoulders still pressing into the mat. Let's come back to center. Unhook that left foot from your right. Bring the soles of our feet together. One hand over your heart, the other over your stomach. We're going to meet here for our last few breaths of class today. Taking this time to bring awareness throughout your body. Wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes. Feel the back of your head pressed into the mat. Pay attention to the rise and fall of your chest as you expand through the belly. And exhale through the mouth. Letting go of any tension or stress built up throughout the day. Setting awareness and intentions for the rest of today. Might try box breathing here. In for 4. Hold for 4. Out for 4, hold, and repeat. Taking that full brain scan, comparing it to how you felt in the beginning of today's class. What's sore? What's stretched? Where's their tension? that's going to bring us to the end of today's class. Hope you guys enjoyed the weights. But if not, remember next time you don't need them. We'll try to incorporate them a little bit more because I kind of like them. But just remember you don't ever necessarily need them. Other than that, thank you all so much for coming. And I look forward to seeing you all again next week.